Anyways. I've missed this. Original. Okay, what's the magic number? I was supposed to prepare again. I was supposed to think about race formats and that stuff, but I guess if I did, not for a fucking second. Did you see the opening, Keenan? Was it there? I don't know, like, so I always do something when the live video starts, but I can't look at the camera, right? So I don't really know when it starts. So I hopefully it was there, it was all there. The internet's fine. What TLR is Facebook Live? Does TLR have a Facebook Live right now? Is TLR, oh shit. Does TLR have a Facebook Live right now? Let's go see what's going on. It's unacceptable. Wednesday night. That's JQ Racing. Team losers and retards. Doesn't find it. Oh, yep, I think I found it. Some loser in their banner image here. They're live right now. Okay, let's go steal their viewers. Who's live? Where do I see their live video? Oh, there we go. 22X. Just, you've seen this already. X-Ray was released 2 years ago. I mean, 12 years ago. So what should I write in the chat? Hey guys, we need 2 more guys. We need, how many, what's the number? 72. We need, hey, what should we go ask something on the TLR Facebook Live? What should I ask them? Hey, how much longer? Are you done soon? Okay. I asked Frank Root how much longer he's gonna waste people's time. Tebow did one with his family last night. It was pretty funny with the kids. Oh my God. I'll never ever do that in my life. A Facebook Live with my family. No, tonight Ryan Harris will be live. Who's that? 85. Okay, we can reach 100, I think. Let's steal some viewers from TLR. I'm gonna post a link there. Should I post a link there? How do I get my link? Oh, fuck, too much work. Okay, so, fuck, we already reached 100. Sorry. We reached 100, no Q&A today. What's with the guitar? I'm dying to hear JQ the song. Well, I only just started, so I kind of suck still. So I need another year to practice. Then I can play something. No, I'm not going to postpone my episode. We're going to talk about... First of all, we're going to switch that off. We're going to talk about race formats. Actually, you know what? I don't feel like talking about race formats yet. I feel like selling some lube right now. Here's the deal. Go eurorc.com. I'm gonna search for some JQ oil. Please someone go mental on JQ. You're too... Jay, you're never too old to learn to play the guitar. I played the fucking violin for 10 years. Okay? It fucking translates. Okay. €4. That's not bad, is it? I'm gonna post this here right now as a comment. Check this link I just posted. We need to sell all this lube now. It's getting on my nerves. We have diff oils. And we have shock oils. Shipping worldwide. You can compare that, it's CST, so comparable to the Ultimate Racing oils. So we have diff oils, 100 milliliters, and shock oils, I can't remember. Was this a 150, like the bigger bottle? Anyway, super cheap, EuroRC.com. We've got a ton of oil. We need to sell this out. I need to get rid of all kinds of crap, including that oil. So we need to sell all the oil, and also here during the spring, I'm gonna go through all my crap in storage, and I'm gonna be selling random stuff. Like cars, just car boxes full of parts. Miscellaneous, like, okay, white edition spares, ready to run spares, black edition spares, all that. I want it all gone. So we're gonna do that. I don't know how we're gonna do that exactly. I'll just post them on Facebook or on a Facebook Live. I'll show you what's in it, and then someone offers something and PayPals me and I ship it out. Live selling. You know? Mega deals about to happen. Keenan takes all the oils. Greg Degani says, JQ oils are just fine. Won many races with them. JQ thinks if he ran low-C oil, he would be faster. Wrong. And the ultimate oils will not make you as fast as Robert Battle. Yeah, Robert doesn't run them anymore, I think. Or does he? I don't even know. I think he runs Mugen now. How do I adjust diff height on my TLR 22X4? Well, as far as I know, you don't. How about that? Because I heard somewhere that they put the diff height at the right place. Like, they put the right height, the same as X-Ray. So X-Ray is good, then their car will be good too, because they just set the diff height same as X-Ray. So it's right. So you can't adjust it. $200 a box. Yeah, sure. $200 a box sounds good. So anyway, has someone now gone and ordered some shock and diff oil? EuroRC.com, so we can continue? I hope so. Okay, so anyway, let's begin. Because now is actually a good time for this. There's no racing going on. Coronavirus has infected the whole world. It's not really like the flu. It's infected everyone's brains. People are going nuts. People are just buying random stuff from the store. Like, let's buy all the toilet paper for no reason, you know? Let's buy a ton of toilet paper but food for 3 days. And then you have to go back to the store to get food, like idiots. Fuck, it's so stupid. Why did they think toilet paper would run out? It's the dumbest thing. Hand sanitizer. Suddenly everyone's like, oh, we're gonna start washing our hands now, like normally they don't. Fuck. Just pisses me off. That's why I like to come home here and I just stay home. I don't need to deal with people. I like that. I don't like dealing with people. Even this Facebook Live, it's like I'm alone. Like I can't hear anyone else. Yeah, Greg, EuroRC.com. I put the link here. How many times do I have to put the link here? What's wrong with you people? Okay. I put the link there again. Please order some 350. We have all the oils. All of it. Fuck Flashpoint. This is JQ Racing Oil. Okay, so back to race formats. Everyone's going nuts right now. There's no racing. So let's reboot. Let's take a step back. Let's rethink what we're doing. Because obviously things could be better in the RC world, right? I think there are a lot of people that go racing and they aren't getting out of their racing what they're supposed to get out of it. Because this is supposed to be fun. Going racing should be something you do as a hobby and then you leave happy. So you're all stressed out like me right now because of everything going on. Not the virus, just other fucked up shit. So you go to a race and then you enjoy yourself all day and then you leave and you're happy, right? Regardless really of how the race went. Like, did you win? Did you finish 7th? Did you blow out? Did you end up in the B main? Regardless of that, you should have fun. When I go and ride my dirt bike, I have fun. I enjoy it. If I club race, I enjoy it. It doesn't matter where I finish or what. Like, it's fun. I enjoy it. That's how RC should be. And far too many people go to the track, they go racing, and they aren't really enjoying themselves. Like, somehow they feel like this is fun, this is a fun hobby, but then they actually don't enjoy their races. Like, 9 times out of 10, they're pissed off when they leave the track, or they're complaining and yelling during the race, like yelling at marshals, yelling at the organizers, just like generally not really happy and smiling and joking and just like, hey, this is a great hobby. Degani says, the only race I go home happy from is PMB. Well, even Jason Pelle, I'm going to just call him Jason Pelle. Actually, his name is Pelletier, I think. I don't know how you pronounce it. But from now on, this guy's called Jason Pelle. And that's because Pelle in Finnish is clown. So Jason, he's a complete clown on Facebook, right? But even he agrees with me. So I'm onto something here. So we've determined now that something is wrong because people have chosen this as a hobby. So they like this. Yet they go to a race, they get pissed off, they complain, they yell at marshals, yell at the race organizer or director or Jimmy in the booth, and then they leave pissed off. Now, why is that? What's the problem? Is it just because it's racing, it's competitive? I don't think so. You know what I think? It's because we run a fucked up format that's from like 60 years ago when they hand counted the cars. And like the technology to run a radio controlled car was in itself so amazing that everyone was just blown away. Well, we have to move on now. It's 2020 now. Let's change something. Let's change the formats a bit. This is stupid. What we are doing is ridiculous. So imagine right now, imagine a kid right now and his father. They discover RC racing by some miracle of the world, some absolute like YouTube recommended video. There we go. YouTube recommended video, RCGP Thunder Rally. And they see that shit and they're like, oh my God, watch this. They're racing radio controlled cars. It's like miniature supercross. This looks awesome. Let's go race. I want one of those. Like, Jesus, this is a form of racing we can afford. Or this is a form of racing that's safe. You know, they have snowflake parents, so wouldn't let them ride motocross. It's dangerous. So, yeah, whatever it is, it's cheaper, it's safe. RC racing, it's something a family can do, father, son, like, this is great. So then a family decides, let's get into this RC thing. This looks like fun. So they go to the track, they go to the hobby shop, they get their first car, they start running a bit, people help them at the track, they get into it. They're like, okay, so they run nitro. Where can we race? Like, oh, Revelation, this is now in America, in California, for example. Oh, Revelation club races every 3rd Saturday of the week. Okay, that's fun. They go club race, they have fun. Then like, what else can we race? Well, there's this JBRL you can go to. Okay, what's that? That's like a regional, like a slightly bigger club race thing. Okay, so they go there. Wait, it starts 7 a.m. Okay. Go there for 7 a.m., get up at 6, go to the track, 7 a.m. There's like mayhem at practice. No one knows what the hell's going on. They're new, so they're kind of shy. They don't really know if they're like, there's 27 cars on the track. truggies running backwards on the track, people yelling and running. They're like, well, let's just kind of wait until the race starts. Race starts sometimes like 10 o'clock when they figured out all the late entries and all that stuff. And so they're just sitting around for hours and end in the morning, not doing anything. And then it's like 2 qualifiers. So they run 1 qualifier every 4 hours. But they're new, you know, so they have some issues, you know. They didn't finish the first qualifiers and run 3 minutes, you know. They've been at the track now at this point 8 hours, run 3 minutes on the track. And then second qualifier comes around, actually manages to finish. Like at this point, they've run like 9 minutes on the track and they've been at the track for 12 hours. And then main, well, obviously he qualified in the bottom main. So good news, he gets to not leave super late, you know, because he's up first. But his main is only 7 minutes. So he has a grand total of 16 minutes track time, and he spent like 76 hours at the track. So at this point, the family needs an emergency meeting. They're like, okay, so, you know what, little Johnny, like RC racing, it seemed like fun, but we really can't do this, you know. It basically, this one club race, it just took too much time, you know. It's fucking the format we run, like the way we race, it sucks. No one in their right mind will go to a race like that, have fun, and then decide, oh yeah, I'm going to stick around and I'm going to keep this as a hobby. Like 1 out of 1,000,000 people does that. Only idiots, like 160 idiots watching this Facebook Live. Like these kind of people, we do it and we hate it. How do you expect someone new to actually join, start racing those races and stick around? No, they'll fucking invest in esports pedals and steering wheel and chair and race online from home, drinking a beer. Like wake up at 10 on a weekend and like, it's so stupid. So that's problem number 1 right now. Okay, this is the biggest actually in America because the rest of the world kind of understands more. In Asia, it's more laid back, like, yeah, we start kind of 10, 11, whatever, you know. So they start later and they run more qualifying, they run more mains. Typically, they don't marshal themselves, you know, because, you know, like Trump says, shithole countries, a lot of poor people, throw them a few dollars and they'll marshal, you know. So they have marshals. So you go there later, you get to run more. They have marshals, you don't need to marshal, it's more fun, like food, this and that, like it's fun. Okay, they kind of understand. Europe, we marshal ourselves, but otherwise the idea is the same. It's not so much about how do we make more money, like how can we only have 60 people here, but maybe if we, you know, more classes and this and that and trying to just maximize income, like minimum track time, maximum income. That's the way it's in America. That's really messed up. That needs to change somehow. So yeah, Asia's got it figured out. Europe is okay, but the club racing scene isn't that good in Europe, really. It's not that big. America, good club racing scene, but it's like killing itself because they're ruining the races. Okay, so how could we fix that? How could we have races where the organizer still makes money, the race promoter still makes money, but the racers also get more value from it? So THEQuagraine has an idea. Let's see. You know what dumb is the 160 dummies like me that are watching some nerd in a Finland basement? It's not the basement. This is my office. Okay. So let's start taking some notes, and I'm going to need your help for this. So you know the issue. You know what the issue is. I think we have 3 different types of races. First, we're going to figure out some scheduling stuff and how to improve the experience for everyone. And then after that, we're going to look at the format a bit. So first, we have club races. Club races should be low entry fee, easy access, new people. It should be easy, quick, in and out, fast, have fun, you know, low stress. Then you have your sort of local races, regional races, like a JBRL or like, I don't know, like the Bischofsheim warm-up in Germany, or just sort of medium-sized races. Could be a 1-day race, could be a 2-day race, whatever. And then you have your big races like DNC or PMB or Euros or Worlds or that kind of stuff. So 3 different types of races. It's not fruit juice, Keenan. Gin and grapefruit. Let's start with the club races. Club races should be like what they do at OCRC. They do it really well. They race 3 times a week. On weekdays they start at 7, 6:30 or 7 or something like that. They have like, I don't know, like anything from like 7 heats to 14 heats. Anything from 60 drivers to 120. And that's kind of what club races should be. Like on weekdays in the evenings, like 7 to 10, 11. Weekends on Sunday, they race from 3 to 9 or something like that. You know, that makes sense. Like a club race, you don't need to spend all day. Weekdays in the evening, weekends, afternoon, evening, something like that. Or weekends, like Revelation, they race every 3rd Saturday of the month, and they start at 9 and then race until it's done, like early afternoon. So people can sleep a bit in the morning, then they race a bit, and then all afternoon, evening off. Like that's a club race. That's how a club race should be. Low entry fee, and new people can join easily. Okay, so and then we come to our first problem. So some races that should really be club races, they just decide that they can charge a bit more, and they can be a series, and then they become a bit bigger race. Like they pretend to be a big race, but really they're a club race. So they charge money, they give no extra value. You have the exact same runtime as you had at the race where you started racing at 9 and you were done at 2. Hot Rod. Hot Rod every Tuesday night from 7 to 10. That's a club race. That's club racing. You have 2 qualifiers in the main typically. So then these bigger races, these big races that are really club races, like Buggyland was a fucking great example that they just stretched out even to many days, but let's not even get into that. Like one day JBRL races and these, like people start taking these races seriously now. People spend money, they spend time and money preparing, they spend money on their tires, cars, engines to go to the race. The entry fee is higher than a club race. Then you only get the same track time though. There's no more track time, but you spend a hell of a lot of more time at the track, just not driving on the track. So there's no added value. There's 0 added value. How can that be? Like, what's the difference between a club race where you spend 4, 5, 6 hours and one where you spend 14 hours at the track? You run the exact same amount. There's something wrong there, don't you think? And then the big races. Big races, okay, so there's one other difference. So when it's a club race, it's more likely that people have fun because they don't set the same kind of expectations for themselves or for their performance. They don't think it's that important somehow. So it's more fun for most people. They enjoy it more. Then when it's this sort of big race, even though it's just a club race, people care more. So that's also where people start getting stressed out, not having that much fun when things don't go their way and such. So at this point, I think there should be more of those club races than these sort of middle tier, more important, bigger races. Because it's somehow like people just view it differently. Okay, so then the big races. Big races, I think big races matter. You know, the pros get paid when they win or do well. It's a good measuring stick for drivers to see like how they improve over the years. Like, can they make the main? Can they podium? Can they win? There are different classes typically, so you can just focus on trying to win your class. Like, it's a big deal, like winning DNC in open class. It's cool. Or making the main in pro class. It's cool. You know, so that's big races. People focus on those big races, spend even more money and time to prepare for these big races. So again, the big races, they should offer more value to the people. You should have more track time and it should be more fair. You know, there's more practice, qualifying means. So the whole like organization should be better, you know. There should be cleaning areas for your cars and power and cover from rain, like everything. The track should be maintained and good, and everything, like speaker and everything should be better at the big race. Going to an event, you're spending more money also. Big races, the entry fees are always bigger. So again, every step from club race to a regional race to a big race, everything needs to improve, I think. You need more track time. The organizer needs to put more of an effort into it. Preparation of the track and the pits and the area and the schedules and everything. Everything needs to be better. Prizes, everything. But it's not. It's not that way right now. Your internet sucks. No, sorry. I don't know what to do about that. Okay, so how can we solve this? What can we do? So let's think about the club races. Club races, there's a time limit, so they're only for a few hours. 3 to 6 hours long, maybe. Normally what works good is 2 qualifiers and then 1 or 2 mains. So let's just talk about nitro buggy, it's easier. So we can have mains with bump ups. So typically club racing could be done in such a way that there's no organized practice. The track is just open. People show up, they run their car, they know that, oh, racing starts at noon or whenever. So that's not really a problem. The practice isn't really a problem. Qualifiers. Here's the thing. I think it should be, the format should change in a way where we get to race more, because it's more fun to race against each other. Just driving around the track against a clock, I mean, that's kind of boring. So I think what should happen is what they do at OCRC, for example. That's really good. They have, instead of 2 qualifiers and 1 main, I think they do 1 qualifier and 2 mains. And that's better, but the qualifier they do, it's just based on lap times. So it's 1 qualifier, but it's your 5 best laps. Not consecutive, any laps in your run. So let's say you have a 6-minute run. You need 5 good laps. It's your average of 5 laps. So this way, it doesn't matter if someone took you out or someone was slowing you down or you had 1 mistake. You just, within 6 minutes where you're doing what, 12 laps, let's say, you just need half of them, or less than half of them to be good. You just need 5 good laps, 5 laps of your pace, and then that's your average, and that's how you qualify. This kind of system, I think, would work for us too. So club race, 1 qualifier and just based on lap times. It can be your 3 laps or 4 laps or 5 laps or whatever. But just the fact that there's less qualifying, but you still get ranked somehow. And I think for Nitro, what we could do after that is, let's say the first round of qualifying is this, your best 3 laps or 4 laps or 5 laps or however many you want it to be. Anyway, it should be like clearly less than half of your laps. Let's say about a third of the laps that you would do in that time. After that, you ranked in qualifying order, and then you pick the first, like, let's say top 12, and after that, the next 12, and you make heats. And then you have qualifying races, like in RCGP and RC2. So the fastest group, they race each other, and whoever wins that race is TQ of qualifying. If it's 12 cars, if you break in that race, you'll qualify 12th overall. Then the next group, whoever wins that race If it's 12 and 12, whoever wins that race, he'll qualify 13th overall. If you break in that one, you'll be 24th. So this way, there's more racing already. You did your first qualifier, you seeded into a group, then you had a race against other drivers. Similar skill level and speed as you. You race, your qualifying race, which should be something like 6-7 minutes long. Heads up racing. It's fun already at this point of the race. Let's say you win the fastest group, you TQ. So what's next? Then you have bump up finals like normal. So this way, we've already changed the format for club racing, where now instead of the focus being on qualifying, and then one main, now you have qualifying to start, then you have 2 mains. More fun, I would say, don't you agree? Okay, so then let's look at the regional races. So club racing, everyone is spending a shorter amount of time at the track, like 3 to 6 hours. The bigger races, like in America, you have the JBRLs and this type of race. It's a one-day race, but they have a lot of entries. So they start early in the morning. Let's say they start qualifying at 8 a.m. They might be done at the bigger ones, I don't know. They'll be done sometime like 9, 10. So it's a long time. It's a really long time to be at the track. And like I already covered, I think it's too long. Only idiots will do that. So before we go into the format, I think something else needs to change. So since there are all these different classes, running e-buggy, truggy, nitro buggy, novice, beginner, amateur, expert, open, intermediate, pro, are there, like, what others are there? Like, it's ridiculous. So you have all these different skill levels. I think what should be done is they should be staggered. So for example, sportsman class, they run all their races in the morning, like first hours of the day. Like, I don't know, 8 to 12. Then sportsman drivers are done. Then the next guys. Then they're done. Third guys in the evening, then they're done. Now, you can mix them somehow so that if someone wants to be there all day, they can. Like, okay, so maybe nitro buggy run in the morning for sportsmen, and then they have e-buggy, and then they have truggy. So you can still run all day if you want, but you don't have to. Because this is the problem. So a lot of people don't go to those races, the sort of bigger, fake big races, still a club race, but just let's make more money, more entries, higher entry fee. It's more worthwhile our time to, you know, come over here and hold a race kind of thing. So there's no more track time, but the day is super long. So why not stagger it? Then the people who don't go because the day is too long, because they have to take little Johnny's sister to ice skating or something, I don't know, but whatever you play over there in America. Instead of them not going to the race because they can't spend all day there, they can still do it. They can go and run the sportsman class in the morning and be done at noon or 1 o'clock. Then they can go to gymnastics after that, or they can go home or whatever. So let's not force people to spend all day at the track. Let's stagger the classes somehow. So let's run truggy in the morning and then be done with truggy. Then let's run e-buggy after that, then we'd be done. Then let's run nitro buggy after that and be done. Or let's run all classes for sportsmen in the morning, all classes for open in the day, and then all classes for pro after. Like, let's figure something out where everyone doesn't have to be at the track all day long. Also, another thing that this could help with, actually, I think this way could make more money for the organizer, interestingly. Because I think that there are people who would run all of the sportsman stuff, but they would also want to run then more, so they would run all of the intermediate or whatever also. And maybe there are people now who normally would yeah, yeah, maybe there are people now who normally don't go because they have to spend too much time there, but now they can go, like they can go daytime. They don't have to wake up early. They don't have to stay late at the track. They don't have to stay all day. They'll go to that daytime slot, the middle slot, and they'll do their racing then. So you'll have people who don't go racing now that will go racing. Then you'll have people who will run more classes because they want to be there longer. How would you have turn marshal or pit guys if different classes are run at different times? Well, how do you have them now? Same way. I don't see that being a problem. Yeah, there's a way where you can either stagger the classes or stagger stagger truggy, e-buggy, nitro, or stagger the different skill level classes. Combine them in ways where you can have marshals, you can have pit guys. That's not an excuse to have it so everyone has to be there all day. Okay, next. So if a race charges you more, I think you also need more track time. And I think that you also need some practice, some fair practice where if you're new, you can still get some practice. So, you know, there must be some kind of system for practice. Come on. You need to have some way that new people who go to the track, they don't feel too intimidated or shy that they don't go practice. Like, just if you want to call your race more than just a club race, then make some effort, okay? Have some kind of practice. You sign up your name in practice groups or whatever, stand in line, something. Standing in line, I hate that shit. We should never do that in my opinion. But even that's better if someone's controlling that and changing the heats and all that than just like free for all. It's bullshit. The best, I think, is you have time slots and people have to go and they sign up their name. And then that's good because then you can sign up your name for 9:15 and you know that 9:15 you'll go practice. You can go in your pits, you can glue your tires, you can do whatever you need. You can get a friend to be ready at 9:10. 9:10, you go up there, you warm up your engine. You know that you're up 9:15. If you don't have this system, then you just have to go there and wait and stand in line and wait and see like is there an opening, and then you don't have a pit guy. It's a massive mess. It's so simple. Just have a fucking list. If you don't want to, as an organizer, if you don't want to do anything, have a list at least and time slots and just empty the stand at those times. And then people fill in their names and they know when they run. That's the most important thing. Know when to drive. Then you can organize your life. Glue your tires. Get a friend to be your mechanic. Then when he practices, you can be his mechanic, you know. Make it easier for the racers. How about that? So if you want the lowest level, smallest club race, if you're like a regional race, you have to have some sort of practice system. Really. If not, I'm going to call Trump on you. Trump's going to nuke your track. This is getting serious. It's 2020, right? Trump's going to win again. Trump's going to win again. Okay? Put some sort of practice system up for your regional races. I'm not asking, I'm telling. Okay. What's next? So you had some practice. Even the beginner that hasn't been to the race before, he's kind of a bit shy. Even he got practice. So we're doing good so far. Also, his family doesn't need to stay at the track all day long, so we're doing good so far. These beginners might actually still stay in the hobby after their first experience of racing a JBRL. So what next? I think in a bigger race like this, you need to give people more value. More value is more times on the track, more track time. It's better. I honestly think that 2 5-minute runs is better than 1 10-minute run. The reason is that in 1 10-minute run, if you break, you're done. 2 5-minute runs, you have 2 chances. If you break once, you still can run the other one, you know? So more runs. Can we do that? I think we can. I think you can do more runs. I think you can do... Okay, it's a bigger race. It's more important, right? You have two shorter runs where you basically do your qualifying into your group. And then the same thing. So you have your brackets and you have qualifying races after that. And after your qualifying race, that's your final qualifying position. And then you have mains after that. So, okay, then let's have a JQ Worlds race. Well, that's where we're going next. We're going to talk about big race. Okay, we have an Italian here. Enrico Maloni. I can't click see more. Why? Fuck, maybe I can see it here. He is explaining his first race. I can't even see the comments on my damn laptop. How do I do this? There we go, there we go. Okay, so Enrico Maloni, he is saying, I'll describe my first race at La Rampa Road, a track in Italy. There was about 60 drivers between Nitro and e-buggy. We got there at 7 a.m. briefing, 10-minute free practice, 3 5-minute qualies, 30-minute finals, and 45-minute final for the A main. So plenty of track time for everyone. Yeah, see? You can do it somehow magically in Europe. Yeah, I'm trying to get my viewing numbers by watching my own video. Okay, so recap quickly. Also recap. I'm recapping myself. Club race. Low entry fee, short time, 3 to 6 hours. Could be in the morning, could be daytime, could be evening. Point is, you don't have to spend all day at the track. You get one qualifier where you take 3 to 5 best laps average, seed qualifiers into groups, have a qualifying race after that, racing heads up. Winner of the fastest group is TQ, and that was fun. Or everyone got to race each other already, and it was only qualifying. Then after that, you have your bump up mains. That's a good format for club racing, I think. Everyone's gonna have fun, and everyone gets to race twice. We need more of that shit happening. Then I think we have too many of these big races and series races, which are very serious, because it's just the same shit, just you spend more time at the track. So we need to fix that. Okay, if you want to have a series, if you want more entry fee money, you can still do that, but you have to give something back to the races. So stagger the groups somehow, stagger the skill level classes, or stagger the different vehicles, like truggy in the morning, e-buggy in the day, nitro buggy in the evening, or sportsman in the morning, intermediate in the day, pro in the evening. Do something. Maybe the best would be truggy in the morning, e-buggy in the day, nitro buggy in the evening, something like that, because then all skill levels are still mixing. rubbing elbows, helping each other, learning from each other. But you can sort of pick what you want to do. You don't need to be at the track all day. You have to have some kind of system for practice. Write your name down on a list in groups so you know what time you practice, or just actually print out a list yourself as a race organizer. You know who's racing, right? So put heat sheets out and have controlled practice. Like, do something. And then also go to eurorc.com and buy some JQ lube. Seriously. I'm gonna call Trump on you. JQ shock oils, diff oils, comparable to Ultimate Racing, it's CST. We need to sell that shit out. We need to be done with the oil. Okay, last point, last thing, big races. Now big races, these are the DNCs, these are the Euros, these are the Worlds, PMB, Silver State, all these big races. These are the races you want to win, right? You want to go there because it's an experience. This is what people spend the most money for, these big races. They fly in from abroad. Entry fees are high, like 3, 4, 5 times as much as the smaller races. They last multiple days. I think the big races need to offer a lot more to the racer than these other two types of races. You need more track time, better organization, so it's more fair, because people care more. So it needs to be more fair. And so let's look at that. First of all, how long is it? We do not need 17-day races. We don't need, it's ridiculous. So what's a good length? What do you guys think? What's a good length for a big race? Like the big race, Euros, Worlds, DNC, like how many days? How many days is good? What do you say? Say in the comments. I'm not gonna say what I think. Mario says 3 days. Noah says, Noah's Ark, 3. Mac says 4. Renee says, see? Yeah, Wednesday to Sunday. Charlie's high. Yeah, see? That's good, that's good. Because I was gonna say, all these big races, like these are the mega races, this is the biggest race in the world, most important, like amazing. They should be 3 or 4 days. That's it. No more. 3 days is fine. I think that Thursday you kind of arrive, set up, everything's good. Friday morning, that's when it starts. 3-day races, maximum 4. Most people seem to be agreeing. So how do you start? First, at the big races, you need to start with some control. And I think that there should be just one, maybe even just one free practice where it doesn't really matter. Because that one, you're checking, you're learning that your transponder works and all that crap. And then after that, you go into qualifying. But this qualifying is, it's basically your seeding, in a sense, into your group. So it's like seeding practice. Free practice and then seeding practice. Seeding practice, again, your best laps. It's your best laps, but they don't have to be consecutive necessarily. I guess the options are like the typical, like 2 or 3 consecutive, or then like 3 to 5 best lap average. that's the best way really to sort of separate the drivers, like who's fast and who isn't. So you have a free practice, and then you have your seeding practice, and then you have to redo the heats because so this is a bit different though at different races, because there are some big races that don't actually have, because they have so many classes, they don't have that many drivers in the same classes, which is kind of ridiculous. But I guess even in the American races where they have many classes, there's one class that's big, like open or intermediate, normally has the most entries. So maybe pro class is pretty small, but definitely one or two of the others is going to be big. But still, yeah. So one completely free practice, and then after that you go into seeding practice. So one free practice, then one or two seeding practice rounds, and that then seeds you into a new heat. So if you're fast and you're in a shitty heat, you'll be in a good heat for your actual qualifying. First qualifier could be already Friday, but most likely it's going to end up being on Saturday. And again, like the RC2 format for RCGP, it works. So let's say there's time only for 3 qualifiers, then yeah, do 2 qualifiers first and then heads up racing. Or do 1 qualifier and do 2 heads up races. See, I think that's even more fun. So if you do this qualifying system where you could, so this could be like the dream scenario. Let me just lay this out for you. Let's imagine the RC2 race in RCGP. Friday starts with qualifying. You have a practice first. Then you have a seeding practice round. So you have 2 seeding practice rounds. Then you could have an actual qualifying round already on the Friday in the evening. So that qualifying round it's your best 5-lap average. And that was Q1 already run on Friday. So then on Saturday, then you run Q2 in the morning. So Q2 is also the same thing, like best 5-lap average. And then after Q1 and Q2, each round you get points for where you finish in that round. So that time doesn't really matter. It's time relative to everyone else in that only. So if you TQ the first round, then second round is like 20 guys go faster. It doesn't matter. You got the TQ in that round, so you got the best points. So then second, you look at the first round and the second round, compare points, and you put everyone into brackets again. And then I think, instead of just keeping on going with qualifying all day on Saturday, you ran the 1 qualifying on Friday, 1 qualifying on Saturday, and then you just go into mains. Or qualifying races, I should say. So after 2 qualifying rounds, you get resorted into your races, and then you run qualifying race 1, qualifying race 2, and you combine those, like in motocross, for example. So if you win the first one and you're second in the other one, and someone else is second in the first one and wins the second one, you have the same points. But the second race is more important. So whoever won that second one, he'll finish first. So this way, we're increasing the amount of time that people spend racing each other instead of racing the clock. So I think that's something that could work. When you change the qualifying from being the whole time you're on the track, like you're on the track for 6 minutes. So when it's not that whole 6 minutes that's counted, when it's only some laps out of that 6 minutes, it makes it easier. It makes it where you don't need to have that much practice before. It doesn't that much if the track is a bit inconsistent, because we're not talking about going out there for 6 minutes and doing your maximum result. We're talking about 3, 4, 5 laps that you go really fast. It's a different kind of qualifying. And you can already do that. The last round on Friday, you can do that. So Q1 on Friday, Q2 Saturday morning. And then after that, all Saturday would be qualifying races. So racing is already fun and exciting all day, pretty much on Saturday. And then Sunday, bump up mains. So what do you guys think of that? If the focus is less on qualifying and more on racing, don't you think that would be more fun? I think so. No one thinks anything? Enrico doesn't understand why there are so many classes. It's just cultural difference. I think some countries, they want the different classes because they want to be able to win. It's like they don't care so much to compare themselves against the best and see like, oh, I'm like 30th best. That's pretty good. No, they want to just be like able to win. So that's why we need many classes. I understand that it makes sense to have. Okay, I would kind of put it this way. I don't think that those big races should have many classes, because the fact that DNC, Silver State, these big races, the fact that they have so many classes ruins it for everyone. Club races should have different classes so that new people can come in the and have fun and race for the win and get good track time. That makes sense. So for club races, definitely have different classes. There are different skill level classes. For the middle tier races, yes, you can have the classes. But for the big races that cost a lot of money and multiple days and people fly in, I don't think you should have many classes. Maybe just 2 classes max. There's the pro class and then there's the support class, open class, RC2. So the problem is that with these big races, when you have so many classes, there's no way to make a good schedule. You just can't. There's too many people, too many races. So I think that's something that should change, really. Like the club races and the middle level races, yes, have all different classes you want. But the big races only have 2. Forget, like if you want to run 40 plus or something, just run like a extra main. Don't run practice and qualifying for those guys also. They're already practicing and qualifying. Just run like a last chance, run a 40 plus, run a junior main, but don't run practice and qualifying for them also. Like only have 2 different classes that you run the whole schedule for: practice, seeding, qualifying, mains. Only 2 at the big races. That's going to make it better for everyone. Then we can do this format where you have 1 free practice, 2 seeding practice, and then you have your first qualifier already on the first day of racing. Second day, morning, you have 1 qualifier, and then after that, you have 2 qualifying races. So you have been at the track 1 full day of practice and then seeding. On your second day at the track, you are racing other people twice already. Starting on the starting line, finishing, battles to the end. It's exciting, it's fun. And then you still have 1 more day when you're gonna run your actual bump up mains. It's way better than what we do now. And it's only possible if you limit the different classes at those big races. And then I think that if you're gonna run like truggy, e-buggy, nitro buggy, if you're gonna run all of that, I think they should also be staggered. So, okay, all the truck races in the morning, all the e-buggy races in the day, all the nitro buggy races at night. I think that would make sense. Because then you also have the situation there where a lot of people, they don't run everything, or they just run 1 class or something. You're not forcing them to be there all day. They can just be there for the time that they need for their class. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think that actually works. 3-day race, Forget 4 days. We don't need 4 days. I think we just solved the RC industry's problems right now on this Facebook Live. I really do think so. We could have fewer drivers places per race maybe. No, but that's not going to work. See, the organizers want to make their money. Yeah, of course, people would probably pay more in the entry fee to get more value, more track time, a more fun race. The organizer would still make the same money for less hassle and less time at the track. I mean, that makes sense. So, yeah, so 3 days only. Friday, free practice, seating practice, and Q1. So you run 4 times that day. Saturday, Q2, qualifying race 1, qualifying race 2. Sunday, bump up mains. And then stagger the different classes. Like truggy, e-buggy, nitro buggy. So I guess what I need to do now is figure out for the bigger races, can the organizer make the same money and run a format like this, a schedule like this? Like, what would it take? Like, what does the entry fee need to be where DNC could be 3 days and we could get good track time and we could get more heads up racing and still have our bump up main Sunday and all that stuff? Yeah. How about that? I mean, right now at DNC we are practicing twice per class. But there are people that run multiple skill levels with the same vehicle, same buggy. Like nitro buggy, they run 40 plus, they run open. I don't think anyone runs 3. So yeah, I guess that's gonna be my task here. So I'm gonna see what the entry count can be in a race where you can get away with running 1 car 4 times on practice day. Or if not, if you can only run it 3 times, then here's the deal. Both first practice runs are seeding practice. That's, yeah, first time you hit the track, better get 3 good laps in your first run because it's for seeding. I mean, let's put it this way. When it's only that run and you are comparing the first run of everyone on the track, the fast guys are still going to be fast and the slow guys are still going to be slow. That doesn't really change too much. Then you go into the second round, same fast guys are still going to be fast, same slow guys are still going to be slow. So, yeah, someone might have a stellar run in the first round. Who cares? Good on him, good on them. Or some fast guy might suck, you know, so what? There's still a lot of racing to go and they can still make the main. But anyway, how about this? Based on this, I'll make schedules for how a club race could work, how a big race could work, and then how a big race could work, where organizers still make their money, maybe they can even make more money, and the races still, or races will have more fun, more people will go to the races because they don't have to spend all day at the track. It's just better for everyone. Don't you think it's time that something changed or what? Everyone's just happy? I don't think so. That's not what people say at the track. The thing is that all these brown-nosing pro drivers, they talk shit about stuff to me or to other people or private messages or stuff. They don't say stuff to the race organizer. No one says anything to Babcock or Joey or whatever. They don't really complain to them. Really, like, actually really complain. Like, say, look, this is actually really bullshit and you should change it and you should do it this way or whatever. They don't say that. They're, oh yeah, awesome race. Yeah, see you next time. See you next year. Like, oh, buddy. And then they're like, that's the shittiest race ever. I'm never going back. You know, it's so bullshit. They only care about the money. Oh, we've got your money, so we don't give a shit anymore. Fucking, we're just in our speakeasy drinking, you know. Like, that's what they say. But then actually, face to face, they're all like, oh yeah, best friends ever. Like, let's pose for a picture and see you next year. It's like, what the fuck? I don't get it. Anyway, we're gonna make some new formats here. We're gonna improve racing. We want more heads-up racing. More heads-up racing, less hours at the track. More hours for drinking at home, alone. It's way more fun. Okay, is there anything else? Let's do a short, very quick 2-minute Q&A. Lance says I took a pic with him. Only because you got me some Vagisil or whatever you got me. Some kind of vagina stuff you did get me. I don't know what it was. Anyway. Make RC racing great again. Exactly. Back in the day it was great because the technology was amazing. People were just amazed, like, oh my God, I can control this thing and it's just amazing. Like, that in itself was so amazing. But right now, people just play video games online against real formats. Why the hell are they gonna go sit in a field with a bunch of nerds? Like, oh, you soldered my motor wire here for like 18 hours. Oh, I need to check this screw. Yeah, if I could put this other screw here. It's like 1 mil shorter, and then I could Dremel the head here and make it like star. I could lose like 0.1 of a gram. It's gonna make a massive difference on my car. Have you seen the Radio Trace carbon fiber? Fuck! It's a bunch of nerds getting screwed over by race organizers making bucks, big bucks, dude. We're a bunch of idiots. Idiots. So stupid. Every fucking race I go to, I'm like, I'm just gonna quit. Like, this is the dumbest thing ever in my whole life. This is the dumbest thing I've ever done. Spent all this money just so these guys can make money and not give a shit about the race. Seriously. It's gonna fucking... It's gonna end right now. This is a last warning. Last freaking... I'm gonna call my buddy. He's gonna nuke these RC tracks. If I see any RC tracks in 2020 that run club races that last 12 hours or run these fake ass medium size race that should be a club race for more than 1 day, don't have any practice, 2 qualifiers in the main, big races that run 70 skill level classes, run from 6 a.m. to like 1 a.m., 17 days long. If I see anything like that, I'm gonna call Trump and he's gonna nuke your track. Oh my God. Seriously, I'm just over it. I'm done. This is it. This is like, I'm calling in some favors this year. We're done. I'm gonna make this new format, I'm gonna post it, and that's it. From then on, racing's gonna be great again. What's your opinion about sponsored drivers racing in the same classes as people who run in intermediate or even sportsman class? I can't see Seymour, but whatever. It doesn't, everyone's sponsored these days, okay? You can make up a fake person and get sponsored. Okay, so that doesn't mean anything. Skill level means something. The sponsorship means nothing. What matters is how good you are, how much effort you put into your racing, how well you do. Like, if you go to DNC every year and you win every year, you win sportsman or you podium sportsman every year. I mean, I guess, how can I say this? I mean, we're all losers racing RC cars. But you're like a real loser. You should just bump up to the next class. But actually, you know what? No. There shouldn't be a class like that at some big race. And club racing, who cares? Like, I don't know. People should just pick their class according to their skill level. That's how it is. The only class really that should have restrictions is some kind of like beginner class, novice class, like junior, age limit, something like that. But the other classes, they're all bullshit. Like intermediate, open, expert, whatever the hell they're called, like they're all bullshit. Club racing, junior class or beginner class, novice, whatever that is, that makes sense. Let's get new people in. Let's help the new people. That makes complete sense. Middle class, whatever, if you have multiple of them, it's all bullshit. All of it. And then you have the pro class. Keenan wants me to say that tomorrow we have call-ins. So please call in and ask questions. Wally Bills will be there, Keenan will be there, and I might be there. So that's call-ins tomorrow. Maybe he's doing a Facebook Live or something. I don't know. He's becoming Bill Gates all of a sudden. He's all about the technology now. He used to be like, I can't do this, I can't do that. I suck, I'm stupid, I don't understand. You have to explain better. I live on an island. I'm from a shithole country. I don't know what to do. You have to explain to me. I'm like, fucking Google. Just Google it. You know, why are you asking me? Like, if you don't know something, go on Google. Find out, learn, you stupid idiot. And now he's all of a sudden, he's like Mr. Tesla. Fuck. Steve Jobs out there. He's like, what did I say first? Bill Gates, yeah. He's like, I invented this shit. He's like Linus Torvalds. I fucking made my own operating system now. Like, I wasn't quite happy with the calling, like, and your lag, you know, JQ, your internet in Finland, your data in Finland, it wasn't like linking up to the system I had here in my OBS. And then when we had our like videos and then we watched the YouTube video and syncing the timelines. So you had a slight lag there and then we were talking over each other. And so I made this whole new operating system now and we're going to do this. And then we're going to have Wally builds on also. And then also we're going to have a system where people call in and then they kind of wait in line so I can see who's there and then I can pick the guys in any order. So we can't have any lag from you because, you know, that would mess everything up. Like, Keenan's on a whole new level. I don't know what the fuck's going on. All of a sudden, he like snapped out of it. Like, I've smacked Keenan around for so long, like a year at least I've been smacking him around. His fucking loser attitude. He can't do this and can't do that. Fuck. Suddenly he's like, I don't know. I have to recap. What the heck, did you smoke something? No, I didn't. Left is in the zone. Left is definitely becoming what's the best combination here? I think left is becoming It's a combination of Joe Rogan and Steve Mathis. I don't know what the best combination is. Steve Rogan. Yeah, this is live right now. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I agree with everything you're saying. You're awesome. High five, Meredith Roach. He can't believe. Why can't you believe you? See, this is the weird thing. Let me just. I'm not gonna say anything political. Don't worry, Keenan. Here's the deal. I've noticed this, but it blows my mind that people don't notice this also. In a subject that someone knows, actually understands, comprehends, and knows what's going on, because this affects their own life. They are immersed in this, they understand it, they have a good idea of everything, all that different angles and aspects. They understand this one thing, they understand this drink, like this. They understand this. This is their life. They've been doing this for a long time. They know what's going on. They have valid opinions from their own experience and other people's, and they know stuff about this. Okay? But they are drinking it. They are drinking from this can like this, sideways. It's not too good. It's not perfect, but they haven't figured out that if they turn it like this and then drink, it will be much better. Okay. So they know a lot about this, but they have this one thing where they aren't quite right. Then I come along and I explain to them, you know what? If you turn this drink and now drink, it will be much better. Now, because they know a lot about this themselves, they can immediately sort of see that, hey, you know what? The idea that JQ had is pretty good. And because they understand it, they know about this. Okay, so they can see like, hey, that was a really clever thing. Like, all of us here have been drinking like this for like 27 years, and we didn't know that if we turned it, it would be better. JQ comes along, and he said that, and it makes real sense. Someone says, you know what? I told you before that you should turn it. You didn't listen. Fine. Same person who realized that I knew something about this, had some level of intelligence or knowledge or ability to figure something out that they hadn't been able to do. Go to a different subject. We go to this wing. They have no clue. They don't understand anything. And they're running their wings like this, and they don't really know. Like, they have no idea what's going on. They just hear like all kinds of different information on Facebook, for example, about wings. And then I say, hey, you know what? I've been running wings for 20 years. I think you should do it this way and do that. And if you do that, and then, oh, you're an idiot. You don't know anything. JQ, you're an idiot. You don't know anything. I know this stuff. So a subject that they know about, they agree with me. Subject that they have no idea about, I'm an idiot. Dude, that shit happens all the time. And these people, they don't see it. That's the funny thing. That's what blows my mind. Like, if I don't know something about something, I'm not going to say anything. Like, if I have opinions, especially if I have strong opinions, they're informed opinions. Most people's opinions are just bullshit. Like, they saw it on Facebook in a meme. And that's their opinion that they defend. Like, I don't get it. Kind of like walking up, not punched in the face and feeling lucky. What was that thing? You remember I had that thing about, getting punched in the face 3 times when you wake up. Let's not get into that. Keenan doesn't like that one because Keenan used to be that guy. I'm not drunk. I literally in this. I was thinking of getting drunk after this now, but probably not gonna happen. It's too late now. Story time. It's time to end this. We're on 69. That's the only 69 I'm getting today. See, already ended. 70. Paul, I don't have cabin fever. This is my normal life. I don't need to go anywhere. I just stay here forever. It's no big deal. When the weather gets warm enough, I'll go ride some dirt bike and RC. Let's talk about violins. Let's not talk about violins. We can, when we get a sponsor for that new podcast story segment, then we can talk about the violin story. E-buggy, thank you. E-mini truggy.